Hello and welcome to the Average FPLers podcast. My name's Russell, and as always, I'm joined by Mike. How are we doing?
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy. So we've just had an international break. We're back after game week 29, and we're looking ahead at game week 30. Um, so let's have a look at the topics. So, review of game week 29. Very bad week, as we will see
For
in
everyone.
a moment. Well, yeah, it was not a good week. And then we've had to sit on an international break, which I guess could be a good thing or a bad thing. Um, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see how we got on in that awful week. And then we'll look ahead with optimism towards game week 30. So recovering after that bad game week 29. A double got announced in 34, so there might be some forward planning for that. And we're, as always, look at the hub AI recommended transfers as well. So let's get on to it. 29. Well, should we start with me? Because
Let's start with you because you free hitted, so
I was
you've
on a
got
free
the more
hit.
interesting story.
Yep. Free hit. Um, I had Sifal in my team, and then when we spoke last week, we discussed Region, and they'd been in training. So I was like, "Ooh, I'll bring Region in. I'll bench Sifal and bring Region in." Yeah, that did not go
I
well.
enjoyed it.
And from there, it just got worse and worse for me. So yeah, my team got 16 points. No one got anything. And then I look at my bench because I was on a free hit, and I got 33 points. So that was a
It's a
lot
shame
of
you haven't
fun.
got a picture of your bench because it's so spectacular.
I have got a picture of our bench. See, if you were
It's,
looking at the screen.
I was looking at the screen and then my focus got pulled. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do. That's
yeah,
great. I mean, that is great. That is mining your scores better than mining your scores combined.
yep. It's yeah, it's double my score as
Double
well.
your score, but I only got 12. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean,
What?
it just went from bad to worse for me. Like I was away watching badminton anyway in Birmingham, and then as results started to come in, it was like, oh, who scored? Oh, Fafana scored for Burnley. Oh, Safal got an assist. Oh, Robertson got an assist. Oh, great. Oh, Fulham kept a clean sheet, did they? Brilliant. And not only that, I mean, that looks bad, but also players I said about bringing in as well, they also did good. Like I thought I had Gibbs White in my team at one point and decided not to go with him. He got like 7 points, I think.
Yes, he
Uh,
did. He was quite an outlier for a lot of people that went Gibbs White over other, or if you went Chrissy Wood, because I think he got 9, 10
Wood,
points.
yeah. Muniz from Fulham as well was another one I'd listed. Um, yeah. So just it was just awful. It was so bad. So um, but on the bright side, I guess only a very small red arrow for me. I did beat the average, just about. So yeah, I just have to take it on the chin and move on.
Yeah, Mr. Success.
Yeah, you can see that I no player was worthy of star player. So I've
Not in
just
your
left
starting
that
lineup,
blank.
that's for sure.
No, yeah, my bench was great, but yeah, more upsetting. I bench boosted in 28 as well. Obviously, I wouldn't have been able to bench boost this week anyway, but yeah, that is just upsetting. So, I
Welcome.
think I'm kind of glad the international break was there because I just didn't look at it for 2 weeks. So it's only today that I've gone, ah, right, yeah, back on the wagon. Here we go again.
Well,
So,
you're not in the minority in that instance.
no.
So there quite a number of people are not come back at all after how badly it went, and then I think they said there was something like 2 million
hmm
free hits played last game week.
Mm.
And of course, some of them must have gone well, but
Yeah.
it would appear the vast majority
I think
did
if
not.
you'd gone outside the box and yeah.
If you went all the way outside the box, you probably got like 60 points
Yeah.
and had an absolute festival. But if you didn't,
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't see Fulham beating Tottenham 4-0. Is it 4-0?
3.
3-0. Okay. But yeah, didn't see that coming. So yeah. And it
I
was
mean,
it
Tottenham
was
were.
partly one of the reasons I brought Leno and Robertson in, because I thought, well, Tottenham it'd be funny. I could live with it. So
Oh, yeah, Robinson is a decent player. I said to you I was tempted to bring him in
mm,
regardless because I wasn't free hitting.
yeah.
I wish I had now because that would have been the same amount of points I actually scored total with the other 10.
Yep.
So that's very disappointing.
Yeah. And Fafana, who's on my bench, he was in the AI Fantasy Football Hub recommended free hit team, which I
It
think
was.
we kind of poo hooed, didn't we? We're like, oh, they've got a lot of Burnley players in there. Um, yeah, but I brought
You
him
could
in and
see
benched him,
why they did,
and
but it was hard to not necessarily understand, but it was hard to accept it, I guess, is the better terminology because you're going, Burnley are bad. I don't really, you know,
well, looking at my team I had, so over that I went Watkins, Tony, Madison, Son, Barkley, Bowen, Paqueta, Region, Porro, Doughty, and Kaminsky. So yeah.
it's one of those game weeks where just something went wrong,
Yeah.
then something else went wrong, and then it all went wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Just nothing good came from any
Mm-mm.
result. Every
And
result
then
I was
you're
like,
just
oh God. Oh no.
sitting there going, "Oh no, this.
Hmm.
I think this is it. This is literally it." Oh, and then the only good thing is you got to look out into the wider community and go, "Oh look, everyone else is screwed the pooch too."
Yeah. Yeah. Least I was yeah, in good company. So
Yes.
so yeah. It was bad, but it wasn't too bad. It could have been worse. So yeah. Um yeah, you did not free hit. But you took a -4.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, didn't really go well for you either. I put a couple of star players for you in Ario and Son, but that's
That's just because you're being mean.
that's just very. Yeah, I could have put
It's just,
non-applicable for your star
yeah,
players as well.
I think you should have because it was clearly mean.
Yeah,
3 points is not in any way, shape, or form. It's saving because it gives me double figures, but
mm,
other than that, there's no other reason to be excited about that. Which is a shame as well because I think West Ham were on for a clean sheet until right near the end, if I remember. Um,
yeah. Oh yeah, I can't remember.
they're playing Aston
Yeah,
Villa, right?
Aston Villa. Yeah, it might have been.
So
When
there
did
was
they
that.
score? I don't know.
That was disappointing, and I took a -4 to bring in. I think it was Madison. God, it's been such a long time that you just kind of forget things, and then you have to double check everything. Should be more professional. So yeah, I took out Neto from
Where's your
Wolves.
transfer history?
I took out Neto and I took out Haaland. I did the transfers really early actually in the game week because um, both Tony and Madison were going up, so I got them in, and I figured if any of them got injured or anything came up, I could just click the free hit button and it would reset that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Tony, I got Madison. I thought Tony's the one I want because they're playing Burnley,
Yeah.
and Burnley's defense is bad, even if they are showing a little bit of fight.
Yeah.
I fancy Tony to possibly get something, so I went for Tony, and then I had my eye on Madison because I thought, oh well, everyone seems to think Tottenham will beat Fulham. I don't necessarily think they will, but I think it might be a good game with some goals.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong on all fronts. It was not a good game if you're a Tottenham fan, that's for sure.
Mm.
But yeah, so that went badly, and I had 3 Tottenham players in the game because I'd obviously the week prior gone and got
Udogie.
I'd gone and got Udogie for a -4 and him sat him on my bench
Mm-hmm.
because I was preparing for this game week, which, as you can see by my score, went exceptionally well.
Yep.
It was disappointing, frustrating, and something I think it's my lowest ever score in FPL when I'm playing and taking the game seriously. The only saving grace is that everyone else did so badly, and the average was only 12 that
Yeah.
I just about held.
Yeah. You.
I'll take that without playing a free hit. That's about the only positive I can take from that. The fact that I think I only had 8 players as well. I had 8 players. I got 12 points. And I only lost like 40k in places. And my team was littered with players that were punts at best. Like I had Alex Moreno, who there was a concern he wouldn't start at all. I had Doughty, but although everyone put Doughty on their free hit, so that made that quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was Areola was my only differential, and
And
lo and
not.
behold, Areola was my top scorer. So
Yep.
there's
Yep.
not much more
No.
I can say about that, really.
Moreno got you 2 points. He was your best defender as well.
It was
Yeah.
essentially my my team reads like a sound check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is
Yeah.
anyone there? 1 2. And yeah, not a lot to say. It was a disappointing game week, along with everyone else's. It's
Yeah.
just thankfully I managed to scrape enough. Because at one point it looked like I was only on like 4 points, and if I'd only got 4 points, that red arrow would be deeper, and I'd be very, very, very miserable. So I'll take 12. I'll take the little red arrow, and I've still got a free hit. So that means I've got options now.
Yeah. And at
After
least,
the
at least you
double
didn't
game.
have Reggie on. There you go.
I would never have picked him. I told you he can't defend.
Yep.
I cannot stress enough as a fan, a lifelong fan of Tottenham, and seeing Reguilon play football live for Tottenham, he cannot defend. And don't get me wrong, I didn't think he would get sent off because that's the first time he's been sent off in the UK. And it also buggered me because he got sent off after like 9 minutes. And that basically ended Tony's chances of getting anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Tony was like my differential.
Yep.
So I guess in a sense, it did be bad and good, because bad, I didn't get any points from the players I had, but great because Burnley scored twice. So that meant Reguilon's score was like -3, wasn't it? -4?
-3.
So that's literally what
Fun.
brought the average down.
Yeah.
The amount of people that heard Reguilon had trained for 2 days, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to put him in. He's an attacking defender. He's really good at attacking, and he's got however many assists in the last 4 or 5 for Brentford." So they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to get him in." They got him in, and they were like, "Oh God, no, he's bad."
Yeah, I mean, I weren't getting him in for his defensive qualities. It was for that he'd look quite good going forward, getting crosses in, and yeah,
Oh
against
yeah,
Burnley,
there's
thought could be good. So
absolutely no arguments from me about that whatsoever. Everyone's logic was slightly flawed, but well meaningful.
yeah,
But it is Sergio Reguilon, and he can't defend.
I just wish you'd never told me that he trained, and then I wouldn't have put him in, and I would
Well,
have
you
had,
asked for updates, so I gave
I
you an
would have had
update.
an extra 10 points.
You would
But
have,
yeah, so
but I told you, I've got got to give you the news and the updates.
true. But
Plus,
I
obviously,
wish you
you were on a
hadn't.
free hit. I don't know if Gaz had him in his actual free hit first team. I think he might have.
Oh, don't know. That is a good question. Did he? Gaz. No, he didn't. Yeah.
Well, that's lucky because obviously if he had,
Yeah.
then he would be just as miserable as you. But
Yeah. He had Sifal on the bench as well. And
I mean, there are a lot of
Ariola.
people. A lot
So,
of people had one good pick at least on the bench because they were like, oh well, they won't score many, but I'll fill up my bench just in case someone doesn't play.
yeah.
So if you had, for example, this week, a Wanyi in your starting lineup,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't play a single minute, so you would have got someone off your bench at bench one.
Yeah.
So I hope that frustrates you.
A little, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the problem with a free hit, especially on a blank game week, because yeah, so much money to spend. Yeah, you could
So few
easily
teams.
build a squad of 15 that's gonna be really good, and clearly I did that, and I
Hmm.
put all my good players on the bench. So
Hmm. But at the same time, most of the players that did score, they haven't been heavy hitters this season. I think
no,
Sufal may be the only outlier. He's got quite a lot of assists,
yeah,
but because he only kept a lot of clean sheets,
but
he's not scored a
I've
huge
never
amount of
seen
points.
him. I haven't seen him play that well for bloody ages. It was
Not
quite
since he
annoying.
demanded a new contract.
Yeah, I was quite angry watching Match of the Day. I was like, oh really? Come on, he seemed to be getting everything.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, where's this Sufal been? Yeah.
That's the thing. You see, he's a good player, but he's missing a lot of the time.
Mm,
West Ham's defence, because it's not kept any kind of clean sheets.
yeah.
And they're not the only team this year. There's lots of teams, but because they haven't, Sufal will get like 3 points for an assist, but then West Ham will concede 3 goals. So
Hmm.
he's not walking away with more than about 4 points total. So
Yeah.
feels like a drab return for all of that effort, kind of thing,
Yeah.
of a differential that is. So yeah, miserable game week all round, but
Yeah.
different different ways of attacking the game week and playing it, and yet it's the same result. So
Yep.
is that a fable of some description for FPL? That no matter what you do, you both end up at the same place. Maybe,
I mean, I am
but
better off than what I would have been because I only had what 3 players that would have been
yes.
playing. Um,
And what they were, I assume they would have scored like 5, 6 points.
uh, I did work it out. Trying to think. I'd have got 2.
Now,
3, 4, 6. I think I would have got about 6 points.
that's not
I,
a lot.
I mean,
That's half my total though.
I didn't do that much better, but yeah. See, oh, actually, 8. I think I would have got 8 points. Yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah. So I wouldn't have been that worse off not free hitting. I think the free hit was a disaster, really. But yeah,
But at least it was a disaster for millions of you, not just you.
yeah,
It's not like you did it randomly in a single game week when no one else was doing it, and you're like, "I'm just doing it," and then it went badly.
yeah.
So take some solace in the fact that many people were bad, so bad, in fact, that the total was 12, and the
Mm-hmm.
most captain player last week was still Haaland. That's how many dead teams there were.
Uh-huh. Weird.
There are there are many good things to take, many things just to go, yep, that it's just one of those weeks, one of the worst weeks we've ever seen. I mean, we've had a game week where multiple games been called off because of snow and stuff, and
Mm.
COVID, and yet this has still been the worst one. You can always reach new highs and always reach new lows.
True. Yep.
Let's spin it, move on, see where it takes us now. The wind.
Yeah,
How good are we for next week, or this week coming, I should say,
indeed.
after internationals as well?
I know. So yeah. Game week 30 preview. I put myself up first. As I said, 2 weeks off after that. Not really looked at it. Looked here today, and made my decisions. Went for them. So I've already done my transfers, which was to take Walker out and Bowen and bring in Udogi and Salah. So my team now is Neto in goal, Dallo, Zabania, Udogi, Saka, Foden, Palmer, and Salah, who will be my captain, and then Watkins, Solanke, Haaland up front. And my bench will be Kaminsky, Kilman, Barkley, and Gabriel.
That's for a -4, right?
For a -4 as well, yeah. So had a look at the fixtures. Obviously, the double got announced as well in 34. So I was looking around the teams that are doubling, seeing who I may want to bring in. Obviously, Liverpool are one of the teams that double in 34. I don't have any Liverpool players. They've got Brighton this week. They've then got Sheffield United next week. So I thought it's probably time to get Salah back. Tried to do him from Barkley, but could not afford that. So Bowen had to be the sacrifice.
Sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, which seems to be the right choice because the hub has recommended that I sold Bowen for Salah. So I'm as clever as the AI, apparently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've assimilated with the AI. That's it.
Yeah.
The machines are taking over now, Ross. That's how
Yep.
Terminator started.
I mean, one thing is Tottenham blanking that game week 34. And
Yes, they do. They're only the only
Udogi
team
in.
that do. But you don't have a bench boost or anything, so you don't really need to worry.
No.
If you're only going to have one Tottenham player, you can navigate that quite easily.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And I'm looking ahead now. So at the moment for 34, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doublers that week currently. So I can build towards that anyway. Obviously got a few weeks to then.
The only problem with the terminology of a few weeks is game week 31's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then game week 32 is next Saturday. So everything's quite clustered together.
Yeah, but that's fine. And it's just a case of, I've got obviously transfers that I can make.
I mean, yeah, if you have to take a hit or 2 or 3, you just do, right? Navigate whatever way you wish.
And obviously after the international break as well, I've got to see how it goes, pick up again. So there might be some players that I decide I want out, want to keep in. So yeah, I've got very much play by here. But yeah, I think it's good I've got Salah and then yeah, we'll just see. Move on to next week and go from there. So
yes,
Yeah.
Tempted to take any more hits based on any more news or anything like
that? No. I didn't really want to take a hit at all, but with Walker out injured, I don't know. I just thought, oh yeah, I might as well. Yeah. But yeah, no more hits for this week.
And was the Udogi one just because of you needed money as well from Walker to fund Salah, or is that not?
No, I could have done it. I could have got Salah without selling Walker.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, with him injured,
I wasn't sure if you had a lot more money in the bank to get maybe like a Van Dijk because they've got Sheffield United obviously midweek.
Yeah, I did. I did think about Van Dijk.
And obviously Tottenham have got West Ham midweek, so that's going to be a goal fest.
I think I could have got to Van Dijk. Yeah. So it was one of my options. Yeah, maybe I should have done that.
Yeah.
But well, I've done
I understand because we're playing Luton tomorrow.
Yeah.
and Luton have got a significantly long injury list. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a good possibility potentially for a clean sheet. Um, but yes, if transfers are becoming quite scarce, and if you want to be forward thinking, Tottenham obviously blanking, and Liverpool not blanking. You could have even gone and got Bradley, to be honest, because Alexander-Arnold's out at least for the next 3 games.
Yeah, did think about Bradley, but it does mention on the hub on the recommended lineups that Klopp said he might be back like a week
He's
after
back.
the international break. So
He said that, but obviously his press conference today said that Trent, Allison, and Jota will not start training until next week.
right,
So that means they miss at least the next 2.
okay,
And even by that standard, they might be rushed back for I think it's Man United in 3 games time. But if they're not ready and they're not even out on the training pitch yet, I'd be shocked.
yeah,
The only one who might recover quicker than that is Robertson, because his injury is not as bad as first thought. But he
right,
probably will not play tomorrow either.
mm-hmm.
So could be a 1 week punt for Simicast.
Yeah,
Or Joe Gomez might become more viable with the amount of defensive injuries they've got.
yep,
Canate's back. He'll probably play Brighton, but I can't see him playing Sheffield United. So, but yeah, I guess if there's no other temptations, I didn't know if you were tempted by another Tottenham player to seize on the Luton
I mean,
fixture.
I don't like not having Son,
Uh,
but I think I'm gonna have to just risk it. I don't
it's a
like
tough
it,
one.
but I'm
Good
gonna
luck
have to
with that,
risk it.
because I think he's one of the most popular captain choices this week as well.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that could come and bite me. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I may be putting a bet on Son getting a hattie or something.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, yeah. That may be how I cover myself. So
Who do
yeah.
you think you are, eh? Sandro Tonali? Jesus.
Too soon. Too soon.
Well, I mean, the FA are going to keep bringing it up.
Yeah,
I mean, the
true.
guy admitted he's got a problem, and he clearly was gambling right up until he got caught because he's
Mhm.
got an addiction. And they were
Mhm.
like, "You bastard, we're going to ban you for longer." You're like, "He's already banned, and he's already trying to, get help."
Yeah.
And then they're going to ban him, and he's going to come back and have to wear probably a football shirt for his club with a gambling sponsor on. So, what's the point?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, grow up, Sandro.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like, oh,
ridiculous when you think of it like that. It's yeah, it's fine to
yeah.
advertise it, but
You can
yeah.
advertise it, but you're seeing it everywhere, beamed on every billboard, on every shirt.
Mhm.
Sponsors, stadium plays it everywhere, and then they go, "Yeah, but don't you bet?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to. You have to be neutral. Oh, what do you mean you've got an addiction to betting? What? Because you saw some things grow up. You're like, yeah, he saw a lot of things. It was beaming into his fucking head, poor
Mm.
bastard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a developing story. I'm sure we'll find out in the next few weeks if he gets an extended ban, which
Probably.
I guess if he does, that might make him one of the worst ever Premier League transfers, first season transfers anyway, because he cost Newcastle nearly 80 million and he's barely played.
Yeah. It's not great.
No, they haven't been able to buy anyone else because of FFP off their transfer. So
Yeah, I think that has really impacted them, Newcastle. So
mhm.
yeah.
They've derailed. They're mid-table at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't see them getting Europe. They're missing a ton of players to injury. The rumours are getting stronger now that Eddie Howe's going to get the sack.
Mm. Which yeah, that'd be a shame. Bit unfair.
Yeah, it'd be unfair.
But
I mean, it's quite funny that they got 2 strikers who are quite injury prone.
yeah, that does
Um,
not help.
they're never really fit, And when they are, they last for about 2 games.
Yeah.
And even funnier is Arsenal apparently are looking at potentially buying Isak anyway. And you're like, what? No.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of developing there. We won't talk much about the English show because it's fucking pointless. I can't remember what else happened over the international break. Something happened. It was like a record, and I can't remember what the record was. I think I told you, but now I forgot.
Wales didn't make it. Went out on penalties.
They went out. Oh yeah, they went out on penalties to a bloody team that didn't have a shot on target for 2 hours in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and of course, if you're Polish, you're elated that you're going to make the finals, but they're very bad.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how many times they change manager, they don't seem to do much when they get to the knockout stages.
No.
At least with Wales, they got Ward in goal, and so it's always a festival.
Yeah, would have been much more fun if Wales got there. So
yeah,
oh well.
But nevertheless, we get to see Lewandowski. It might be his final one.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Haaland still hasn't made a
No.
major final. Nor has Odegaard, so they get quite a long rest over the summer. So
Yeah, it's good.
early FPL picks, you know. Yeah. Oh, and all the international kits were released. Forget the England one, but the Norway away one was fabulous. I quite like the Mexico away kit, but that's tangenting a little bit.
That is. I mean, it's the Euros.
No, it's all it's because we basically drifted our focus because of how badly we did in the game week. So I was like, let's find other things to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, we've also got the challenge, the FPL challenge to play now as well. So
mine's set up, it's done.
I've not done mine yet, so that is probably what I'm
so
going
we
to
have
be
to
doing
figure
at
out
some
if we're going
point.
to do an act. Are we going to still keep doing FPL 4, or are we going to have to switch to FPL challenge?
Yeah,
or maybe merge the two together. I don't know yet.
Who knows?
Because I quite like the challenge.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
it's
see how it goes.
It's in beta, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's a beta test.
But it does sound good. It does sound fun. I like the idea.
It's a free hit every week, isn't it? Right. So
different challenges each week. So
it's a free hit every week, different challenges, and it plays a bit more like Sky Sports' fantasy, where you can change players right up until they kick off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you've got a last minute bit of news that someone pulls up in the warm up, you can go and transfer them out.
Could be quite good.
I think so. I don't know if they're doing this to test new features for the normal game, or if they're testing this to be its own side game like Draft. And let's be honest, this year's your first year of playing Draft, and you're quite enjoying it.
Yeah, so I'm doing all right. So yeah,
but it is if something's different enough to be unique, and you know, it's with Draft, you don't necessarily have to be hardcore with Draft because you can buy and sell players still more frequently without hits.
Yeah,
and it gives you a chance to take a punt on players you wouldn't, because you can't all own the same players in Draft, so that's quite fun. So if they can try and find a hook similar to that for challenge, then it should be a rousing success.
Yeah, I think it'll be alright. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I've got to get my team in. So
yeah, you better bloody hurry out.
Yeah, I got loads of time. It's fine.
Loads of time. Loads of Good Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, so
loads of time.
Right, let's move on. Let's see your team then.
Is it good? Is it bad? I can't remember.
I don't know. You've gone early with a transfer as well.
Yeah, I did. Not early, not super early, but I went early. I think I went on Tuesday, because that's when it looked like Saka was going down in price, but he didn't. So that's very frustrating. But anyway, I'll go for my team as is thus far. I've got Neto in goal, Smith, Alex Moreno, Adogi, Palmer, Madison, Salah, and Son, who's my captain for now. Solanke, Watkins, and Tony. And my bench is Areola, Odegaard, Gabriel, and Doughty. So I got Saka. I sold Saka, I think, at one point because I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I was out of the three of us. I was the only one who started with him in my team, and he was bad.
I think I might have
And
started
I've
with him, actually.
maybe I might be mixing this up with Saka last season. I've had Saka a lot in FPL ever since he's been an available option. When he come on as a youth player, that was it. I don't even think that was Arteta, was it? I think it was Aston Villa manager. What's his name?
Unai Emery.
Unai Emery. Unai
Yeah.
Emery was the first person who gave his debut, right? And he kept making him like left back and right back and all these weird positions.
Yeah, I had
In
Saka in game week 1, and I captained him, and he got me 20 points.
Okay. So yeah, I am mixed out with last season probably because he was bad last season along with Mount. But yeah, so I don't have as much money tied up in Saka. He's currently valued at 9.1. But if I sold him, I would have got 9 million from him. So yeah, I've clearly not held him for quite a long time. And it looked like if he went down in price, he would go down to 9 million, which is exactly what I would get for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I know his price could tumble twice in the next couple of days. So I figured I'd sell him, I'll get Salah in. If I'd got Salah at the beginning of the international break, I would have already made 0.1 on him, but I didn't want to go early because it seems silly and foolish because we didn't even know about the double game weeks yet at that point.
Yeah, and yeah,
And
I mean,
Saka wasn't injured.
I weren't even looking, so I don't know
No, no,
if players
I
went up
wasn't.
or down or what happened. So
Not as many as you want,
yeah,
but some did.
hmm.
Um, and obviously the last few days I was expecting a lot more to go up and down, but they just didn't.
Yeah.
So slightly frustrating, but it's I'll live with it kind of thing.
I'd say probably after
Um,
after a bad week, people are a bit more cautious,
well,
or just can't be
after
asked, and they're just like, oh,
but
yeah,
it
sod
could
it.
be that, but they did announce the doubles, and then the amount of wild cards that were then hit
Mm.
because of that announcement, because people are going, okay,
Oh
well, if I
yeah,
wild card now, I can do this, this, and this.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, uh, which is obviously you think that would affect the transfers as well, because normally when a lot of a good segment of people playing the wild cards, it affects what goes up, what goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as just people making knee-jerk transfers because it doesn't have the same value, but still, you might have seen some movement, but there's
Mm-hmm.
not really been much at all. Salah might go up tonight now, I think, because of all of the news, I guess, especially in the news that Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel have not trained all week.
Yeah. Apparently, Salah's going up tonight. Whether that's true
Yeah.
or not remains to be seen. But
Again,
yeah,
if it's all wild carders that are bringing him in, maybe he won't. You know.
Salah,
So
Gusto, Petrovic, Aït-Nouri, and Anana going up tonight apparently.
what's his name?
And
Grow up.
Saka, De Bruyne, Bowen, Martinelli, Maguire, Kudos, and Walker going down. So
So yeah.
two of the players I got
So,
rid of. So that's good.
exactly. So it could be good for you that you've
Yeah.
gone the day before.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I went a little early because I thought I might make some money, and we're getting to that sort of last few weeks where I need to eke out as much cash as I can
Mm.
to prepare for any kind of bench boost or wild card, etc.
What chips have you got left then? You've got
Wild card, free hit, and bench boost.
bloody hell, you got all of them to use.
I got all of them still. So I mean, I was semi tempted because of how bad I was to do like a lot of people this week once the doubles were announced, just to press wild card.
Mm.
But then I looked at my team and I was like, well, I got 3 Tottenham at Luton.
Mm.
Watkins is playing Wolves, and that's the one who everyone seems to be selling as well at the moment. I was like, that seems silly. I
Apparently,
got
according to the hub, he's not playing Watkins in the predicted
mm,
lineup, but there's no
which is
word of him
interesting
being
because
injured or anything. So
He's perfectly fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing to come out in the pressers.
No. So it's
So
a
I think
strange one,
that's
that
just
is.
a glitch.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could have pressed wildcard and got rid of this defense because I am running with Smith, who's basically scored me 0 points since I bought him. Alex Moreno gets me between 1 and 2 if I'm lucky.
You're going like me as well.
And
Double Bournemouth defense, which seems
well,
mad, but
it is mad. But what else have I got?
yeah.
I've got Gabriel away to Man City, who could blitz Arsenal to, you know, make the title race hot up.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can have Doughty away to Tottenham, and Luton are missing like 8 players who
Hmm.
could also get absolutely trounced. So,
Mm.
especially considering how bad Tottenham were at Fulham, we better show
Hmm.
some bloody signs of revival because it was awful.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So I kept looking at my team, and I just kept thinking, I don't really need to wildcard this week, and I can wildcard in 31. It's like 2 days time 31, so I could just wait.
Yeah.
You know, my original plan was before all of this was to it was to sell Watkins and bring in Haaland as a straight swap because I had enough money to do that.
Mm.
And then the more I thought about it, the more I just didn't want to sell Watkins at home to Wolves because
Mm-hmm.
Wolves have got a couple injured players out. You know, they struggled their last game. They struggled against Coventry in the FA Cup, to be honest.
Oh, they went out.
Um,
So
exactly, but I mean, they struggled just in general in that whole game.
yeah.
Um, and Villa are really good at home, so I was just like, do you know what? That seems like a good player to hold for that one at least. I mean, I know Villa have got Man City next, so I can then sell him sort of guilt free, if you will, or regret free, I suppose is a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I didn't really need to sell to get Salah either, to be honest. I just did it because I thought, do you know what? Brighton's defense has been wobbly all season. Liverpool at home. Salah's been given the international break off.
Yeah.
He played 70 minutes in the FA Cup just before the international break, so he's he's got the minutes in him. And 2 weeks off, that should be great for him. So I'm going to bring him in that way as well. With his price that had already risen once during the international break, which was annoying.
Hmm.
Um, I should, I don't have to wait like 3, 4 more days to get him in. Especially if he goes and gets like 2 against Brighton or something, or just 2 returns, like 2 assists. His price will just thunderbolt to like stratospheric, like kind of like what happened with Haaland. Haaland was 13.9. And I was like, I'll get him.
Hmm.
I only need to go a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And then he scored a couple, and then he was 14.3 in no time. And I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and then I figured Saka to Salah gives me a better fixture this week because Saka's playing Man City, although probably not the worst now. Man City are missing both Stones and Walker, but
Mm.
not a bad fixture because I'll gain some money in it. Salah's at home to Brighton. And in a couple of days for the next deadline, I can just do Madison to Saka. I've still got enough money. And
Okay.
Madison's fixture is West Ham away, but Saka's got Luton.
Yeah. I mean
So,
the hub was telling you to sell Madison for Salah,
yes,
but
but
you're
Madison's at home to Luton.
maybe you're just doing it in a longer way
I'm
round.
doing it in a similar way.
Yeah.
If Luton are missing 8 players
Yeah.
and some coaches who got injured while training with the Luton players because they didn't have enough to do like 11 on 11 on 11. I
Yeah.
mean, they genuinely had a coach. I think it was they said pull a hamstring or do his knee. So there
Oh
you
mate.
go. They're running out of all sorts.
Mm.
Um, with that kind of amount missing and Tottenham at home, I think I want 3 players in the mix. And it would be annoying now to sell Madison. He
Hmm.
gets a haul against Luton,
Yeah.
and then I then keep him for next week. Or no, I'd already sold him, so I'd just be frustrated because I bought a player who blanked, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm risking it because I don't have Haaland or Saka, which means I don't have anyone really in the last game.
No. Well, apart from your bench. Obviously, when
From my
Watkins
bench.
doesn't play and Odegaard comes on.
Well, I'm tempted to play Odegaard now that I know Man City are missing quite a few players.
Mm.
Mm. But it would have to be at the expense of Tony.
Mm.
And the thing is with that is that I know there's quite a lot of players missing for Man United too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a last minute toss up between those. Mm. And that's really my only other dilemma. I could take a -4
Mm.
and I could sell Moreno for um, Van Dijk.
Mm.
But I don't think Liverpool keep a clean sheet against Brighton.
No. Yeah. I think that's the reason
There was a game that you could
I
win
was
out.
between Udogie and Van Dijk or someone, and I think that's Brighton. I don't know. Did Liverpool keep clean sheet? Not
Maybe
sure.
because they're at home, but
Maybe.
it would seem unlikely. I
Mm.
mean, unlikely is too strong a term, but if there was going to be a team that gets a couple against Liverpool, it's Brighton because they're really attacking.
Yeah.
No matter how many players they're missing.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'd be doing it this week is if I thought Moreno wasn't going to play, I guess, because then I could get rid of him. And you're basically writing it off and going, okay, well, Van Dijk might not get a clean sheet this week, but you'd surely expect him to get one midweek against Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheffield United have had a couple of weeks off now, right? And didn't they pick up a couple of points
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I
in their
think
last
so.
Premier League game? So they
Yeah.
might go and play their home fixture this week against Fulham, beat them, and then they go and score against Liverpool. So all of that could just fall on its ass. But yeah, I'm fairly settled. I needed a premium in. It was originally Haaland. I've just changed that and gone for Salah. I could captain Salah if I wanted. But I think I might stick with Son for this week. You know, I've had Son for quite some time.
Yeah.
I am now almost unable to sell him due to how much money I've got tied up in him. It's a lot. It's like nearly $1 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had him since forever. You know, I got him when he was 9.2, and I've had him. I wouldn't like to speculate when, but I've had him for quite a significant amount of time, and I held him the whole time he was away at the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
So I held him because I was like, oh, I've got 0.3 tied in him. I don't really need the money, and now I've got like there's 0.9 tied in him, and
He's
it
definitely
just
the
feels
one
like
player I'm most worried about this week not having. He will definitely be coming in
it,
on my challenge team. He will
yes. I
definitely
mean,
be in that.
if Richarlison is out with a knock, then it possibly means Son plays down the middle. I don't know if that makes him better or worse against Luton in that case. But what it does do, if Thingy was out, is it would make Werner a better choice because Werner was great and then he didn't start the last two for some strange reason, even though he'd been great before that. And yeah, Werner would be my outsider to absolutely tear Luton apart this week. I can't get to him because I've got 3 Tottenham, but it'd be quite nice to get to him.
Canning challenge though,
But yeah,
because you can have 5. So there you go.
I can do. So I mean that be something we discuss shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got 3 Tottenham. I'm really hoping for a better result than having 3 Tottenham against Fulham before the international break. You never know. I wanted to go and see this game live, but I couldn't afford it in the end because of illnesses to dogs and stuff. So I'm hoping my faith in the players gets me a good yield, a good return. I think a lot of people have got at least 1 Tottenham, so maybe my differential will be having 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I will kick myself in the forehead if somehow I've got all these players and Salah, who I don't captain, goes and gets a hat trick.
I'm sure
Uh,
the Tottenham players will do well this week because obviously free hitting last week and they were the players to get and they buggered it all up for everyone. I'm sure this
mhm.
week, now everyone's not got them on free hits, they will do well just to really wind everyone up. Apart from you,
Hopefully.
who got
Apart
three
from
of
me,
them.
who took hits in the last 3 game weeks to get them in to prep for it,
Yeah.
which was insanity when I was doing it. But I was doing it because I had no idea. Whether that comes to fruition again, we will not know. But I'm hopeful. I mean, I still haven't
I'm
made up my
hopeful
mind.
they have another bad week.
But I'm definitely not hoping that doesn't happen because
I am.
we're still chasing Champions League, and I'd like it to be that we still got some fight in the old dog. But
Mm.
yeah, it, it's it's a good differential to have, and I need to then to decide what I want to do after this week because after Luton, I know a lot of people say, oh, their fixtures they got West Ham and then they got Nottingham Forest, but then after that it's like Man City, Arsenal, and like just teams that make your eyes water really.
Mm.
Um,
Arsenal, Liverpool. Yeah.
exactly,
And
it's not great.
Tottenham have got 2 games in hand as well, right? Or have I done that wrong?
No,
Got
we got 2 games in hand. Yeah.
Chelsea and City. I don't know whether
Yes.
they've
One
been
of them will likely get slotted into 36, and the rumor is one of them might get slotted into 35.
right. Yeah.
So,
But
so
yeah,
that'll
they're
be
they're not great fixtures to have, so yeah. Wherever they get
no.
slotted in.
I mean, the thing with sorry, 37 and 35 gaming they get put into the one thing with that though is if you're just carrying Son or Madison or
Mm.
both,
Mm.
it's a double game week, right? So
Oh
you're
yeah,
just
of
hedging your bets.
course, yeah. It's all
Um,
good.
you you'd only play the defender because your other defenders have got really shocking fixtures, kind of thing.
Well, the one slotted into
Uh,
37 will be alright. Actually, you've got Burnley that week, so
yes.
that's not a bad one.
Um, plus, there will be other teams that double in 37 too. I
Mm.
can't remember the list of names that. Let me double check. There is a list of potential doubles in 37 because it's all based on the FA Cup and progression in other competitions that teams are in and teams are not in, kind of thing.
I've got a list
Um,
of the games that are in hand for teams. So Brighton have got
yeah, so,
City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. City have got Tottenham, Man U, Sheffield United, Newcastle need to play Palace, Tottenham, Chelsea, City, and Wolves need to play Bournemouth. So they've got to be
but
slotted
the
in somewhere.
Palace game for Newcastle's slotting into 34. So the rumored 37 fixtures would be Brighton versus Newcastle and Chelsea, Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest and Brighton, Man City versus Fulham and Tottenham, Man United versus Arsenal and Newcastle, Newcastle versus Brighton and Man United, and Tottenham versus Burnley and Man City.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 doublers in 37.
Mm-hmm.
And in 34, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 doublers in 34.
Yeah.
So a
7.
lot of the trip strategy right now for people is to free hit if you've got it still in 34.
Mm.
So you keep hold of your Tottenham players because obviously they've got that other extra fixture that's not been accounted for yet.
Yeah.
Um, and in my case, that would be okay. It'd be quite good. But I'm very tempted to wild card in 31 or possibly 32. Maybe 33 if I don't really need to wild card. I don't know that yet. And then bench boost in 34 because it's more doubles.
Mm.
And then once you've bench boosted, I wouldn't bench boost with heavy hitters. I'm not going to be bench boosting with like £8 million players, overwhelming. But it would be quite nice potentially to have. I think Wolves have got a good double, so I could have 2 Wolves, like a midfielder and a defender, or just a defender and a goalkeeper kind of thing. Wouldn't take up a lot of money on my team, and
Arsenal, Bournemouth, Wolves. Got
not bad, right?
yeah.
It will do for a double, you're throwing basically any double. You're just throwing the dice and hoping something sticks, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I've got Kilman in
So
my team, so I'm gonna keep him for that and play him.
yes,
So
it there are options. And that's why I'm thinking bench boost 34 might be good. I don't know all of my players at double yet. That's a bit far ahead of itself, so I don't really need to start overwhelming it now. But
I need to
yeah,
think ahead a bit more because I don't have a wild card or anything like that to play, so I need to plan ahead. But
yes,
you've got the flexibility of going, oh, well, I'll wild card in 33 or whatever, and set my team up for it. So
yes, it's a semi fortunate position to be in. But it doesn't necessarily mean it will go well.
Yeah, no, not necessarily.
I could free it in 34 and balls it up, then be left with the team that I don't like in 35 and balls it up. And then I could bench boost in 37 or save my bench boost to 37. And by the time we get to there, the league's already wrapped up. Say Man City's lost it to say Liverpool. So then everyone starts rotating. So I'm playing double game week because they only get one fixture, and then I'm just annoyed.
Yeah.
That's why I'm tempted to bench boost in 34 because everything's probably just on edge. There's 4 games left or 5 for some teams. Everything feels like there might be something still to play for in the relegation, in the championship battle, European battle, etc. So I kind of quite like the idea of playing Cunha if he is fit. If he can get going again in the next 3, having Cunha for a double, it's not the maddest thing. I might be able to get a couple of punts because I think Bournemouth got another double then as well. So I could even go and get Semenyo, Solanke and Semenyo. And that would be cost effective. So that means I could have Haaland that week because I'm pretty sure I think Man City have got someone really fucking tasty. Like, I think it might be Sheffield United, right? Oh, no, Man United have got Sheffield United that week.
City have got Brighton.
Which is not a bad fixture either for Brighton's defence. But yeah, see, that's why I quite like the bench boost because I think I could have Garnacho at Sheffield United. And then that means I could have Haaland, Salah. Son would be the only issue because I'd have to sell him to bench boost.
Has Sheffield United been confirmed for Man U in 34? I don't think it'll.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, all of the 34 fixtures are confirmed.
I must have missed that one.
It's only a single game week. It's not a double, but.
Oh, they swapped one out then?
Possibly.
Because I've got it down as they're playing Newcastle, but maybe they've swapped it out and they're playing Sheffield United.
They're playing Sheffield United.
Oh, okay.
That Newcastle fixture is probably going to go into 37.
Oh, right. Yeah, I probably missed that. Didn't check that one.
So yeah, that's what I mean. That's why a lot of people are free hitting so they can keep their Tottenham players so they can trundle along with them all the way to 37. Whereas I'm semi-tempted to go aggressive wild card at 33, 32, 33, and then bench boost 34, and then just free hit in 37. Because then that way I could have a tighter 11. And if there are people still competing, like Man City and Tottenham are competing for the league and Europe, I could have 5 players from them, 2 teams, and then I could have a couple from Man United, a couple from Newcastle, and then you're basically at almost 11 then. And if you bear in mind, as we always feel, once it gets to about game week 37, anyone that's confirmed relegated suddenly turns it on and starts playing without any sort of pressure. So they're actually remarkably good.
Yeah.
So Sheffield United might not be the boys that concede 8 goals anymore. They might be the team that are going out there and actually shocking people by picking up really good wins. And I definitely would like to be a part of that if that is the case. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot for me to think about. I've got a lot of flexibility, but I just need to make sure I don't get caught almost froze, I guess. Sort of hesitant to not make the actual decision. I need to make one and stick by it, kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
For this week, no hit so far. Maybe you take one, but I haven't ruled it. I don't know yet.
Yeah. I better think about it quick. I ain't got long.
I will do. I think I'm okay. I think that's the thing. I think I'm okay. And by not taking the hit, I give myself a bit of space. I
Yeah.
only need more Liverpool and more Arsenal because Arsenal have got Luton and Liverpool have got Sheffield United. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 Arsenal, 1 Liverpool. And if I took a -4 midweek in like 3 days' time, I could just go and get 2 then, like Van Dijk and Saka.
Yeah.
I've still got enough money to do that. So then I've got 3 and 2. So that's 5 total for 2 really good fixtures that will end up being massive disappointments with the way this season's gone. But you know,
Those midweek ones always throw up a bit of a spanner. So yeah.
exactly. So you've got to be in it to win it, though. So
Great. Yeah. Cool. Right. On that note, let's wrap it up there. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Average FPLers. And if you want to join our mini league, the code is 5FDX0Q. Yeah, we'll be back at some point to see how we go on and look ahead at the next game week. So, yeah, till then, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
hurrah.